Thank you. I will make a speak review and spotlight myself as always necessary sometime. Hello everyone, and I'm sure you can probably hear me now, as well as you can see. Is all clear, guys?
Yeah, it's working now.
Is it working? Yeah. Okay. So, not to lose, I would call it the important part of life is sometime I try to adjust few things, and along the way, what happened is you lose patience. You just get like so frustrated, and or you feel like really not really cool about it. So always remember, doesn't matter what happened in life. Always remain the best of yourself as possible, because less affected you are, the better behavior you have. So, thank you everyone for listening to me while I'm trying to figure things out, which is a difficult task sometimes. Okay. Hello everyone on YouTube and everybody in house. If you like, you can watch on YouTube. It's available, and if you don't like it, you can stay joined in on a Zoom. I don't know how clear it is coming through, but is there any question? Point one, to be asked. Michelle, is there any question?
There haven't been any questions submitted in advance, but there might be questions with people here perhaps on Zoom if they want to unmute themselves.
Anybody have any question in Zoom?
I have a question. Namaste. I
No,
thought I had sent it. It's something physical. I feel some pain on my groin. How do you say in English? Groin. And I was doing Padmasana during the last months for very long periods. And I felt it very well, but I think it's the only, I didn't really feel I really forced it a lot.
21 Laura.
But it's the only possible way I think this is hurting. And I never had any injury with the yoga or overstretch. How do you think this can finish? I can cure this.
if from a yoga point of view, I don't believe that Padmasana can actually strain your groins, but depends how strongly you try to take the heel either side of the waistline, or you forced through your hips to do the Padmasana. Is if you not being aggressive, and how long actually did you stay in Padmasana? If you stay 10 minutes, 20 minutes maximum, during out of 24-hour overall. In one stretch for 1 hour, maybe one stretch to 2 hours, I don't think will make any difference, especially if you're doing it regularly every day. So there must have been a some other issues with the practice, which you may need to look. Either you try to do the Hanumanasana or the Brahmacharya asana, which we call it box split or front split.
Mhm.
And those can create a strain to the groin. Or if you try to do the seated forward bend, where you try to take the head to the ground, can create a problem. Also, the way you do the triangle itself can create a problem. Depend the Trikonasana can also create a problem. It's not about what posture you are doing in asanas. Sometimes it's not doing posture can create a pain, but sometimes coming in and out of the posture can create a pain. If you have anybody adjusting you, having the feet together, which everybody like to take the head on the floor, but all it need a little uh, out of proportion weight in a supta when you do the Baddha Kolasana, we take the what you call cobbler's posture. In that one, we have feet together, we take the head down. If you put somebody out of proportional weight, out of proportional alignment, that can also create a growth issue. So I am not sure the what have you been practicing, but physically point of view, but energetic point of view, groins basically the representation of your movement. You can have a emotional restriction or in the life moving forward. That can also create a pain or a resistance to being openness can also create a pain in the groin. So it depends how is a have triggered it, how to heal it. Continue practicing, but not overstrain it. Do a bit more back bends that can also relieve it. Bow posture can relieve it. Also giving a nice healing every day to your psoas muscle, hip flexor, and groin area. Also give it a little rest if you need to.
Mhm.
So important part is sometime when we practice yoga is the which I literally found in the modern day yoga practitioners. I don't even call them yogis, but they like to call themselves yogi. And seriously, everybody like a practice yoga 5 days, they call themselves a yogi. It becomes like the freely available in the supermarket that you just go pick it up, give yourself a title. So somebody will say, "How? Why you call yourself a yogi?" Actually, I never call myself a yogi. And then when my teacher used to call me, and somebody picked it up, and they started from there as a initiation point of view. And it's not about you go to a yoga class, you become a yogi, but to be a yogi requires a lot more than that. Mentally, emotionally, and physically, are you in the state of mind that your senses always working with your supervision, understand your senses? Are you have a inner unity? Are your senses are you active with your energy force? It's not going to go there, but so if in modern day yoga practice and we have like bad habits, there's lots of bad habits we have in life. We bring air the bad habit that's called yoga. Seriously, you might think the why I'm saying that is I give you valid reason behind it. Sometimes you see people like they could drop the yoga pose anywhere they can. Are you ready or not ready? Doesn't matter. But you have to strike a yoga posture, and that's not a good definition of yoga practice. No. Yoga was supposed to be kept personal journey. It got nothing to do with public display. But nowadays, if you cannot strike yoga post middle of the road, And then you are not free yogi yet. And sometimes you see people practicing in these little islands, middle of the highways or the middle of the city road. People do yoga postures there, meditation in there. It's absolutely doing you more damage than actually doing yoga, because you're taking all the toxic. You're supposed to take prana, not the toxins into your body. And second, yoga was supposed to be an internal journey. Now you're making a decoration, the pleasing, the it is inspiring to other people, but what is the it no longer a spiritual journey. It just becomes the sales stunt. So you're doing as a sales stunt. Second part, if you are constantly stretching your body every 2 hour, bad habit I'm talking about. You should not stretch your body every 1 hour, every 2 hour, doing a little bit of posture, twisting, side stretching, doing hamstring stretches. Those things are dangerous for you. There is no preparation. There is no preparation. There is time for everything. You have to be mentally prepared. Your body, cells, molecules, atoms in the body also have to be mentally prepared. Your body builds its own routine structure. But if you stretch 5 minutes, because you don't have 1 hour together in a day, so you stretch 5 minutes every 1 hour, as long as you're awake. In over 12 hours, you do 1 hour of yoga practice. So some people have a bad habit of practicing yoga now and then whenever they can. I will not really recommend it. And sometimes people sit down in the chair. They just sit down not with the strength of the core or not with the strength of the body awareness. They just plonk themselves and they try to stretch. They do the stretching forward, but like do kurmasana, taking the legs back of your head. They always try to remain in a yoga posture, especially when the friends are around. And there's some yoga teachers are sitting together, practitioners are sitting together. They will try to make sure they remain in a yoga posture, which is not actually necessary. You see the sages, the rishis, when they stay in the posture, they stay in the posture for a week, 2 weeks, a month, till they get to understand entire energy flow in that posture. So if anybody who's listening practices yoga, you can criticize me, not to worry about that. But I will request you, even if you find your students doing the now and then stretches, tell them please don't do it. That's not good for your body. Your body also needs resistance. Your body not just need elasticity. Your body also need resistance. Till your muscles develop resistance, then you practice, you feel a toxicity leaves the body. But you keep stretching, you are not doing your muscle fiber any favor other than creating more damage to yourself. So, whoever asked the question, not taken personally, if you do have a bad habit, stretching pose or try to stretch whenever you can get a 2 minute of pocket in day life, stop doing that. Dedicate your time to a practice. Dedicate your time to a practice. And now people do organized workshops, like in the hip opening. Wrong idea, don't do it. Back bending, wrong idea, don't do it. Only focus on forward, wrong idea, don't do it. It's just like somebody prescribes you, hey, only we gonna eat protein, only we gonna eat carbohydrate, only we gonna eat vitamins, only we gonna eat. Yoga is a overall balance, like your body need a overall balanced practice, not one element focused practice. If you aim to do a hip opening or the back bend opening, and all you need to do, make a little mistake, go for a little run, or you skip a step, your lumbar part spine will be gone. You will have slip disc, you can have bones disc, you can have the disc can bump out, you can have nerve pinch. If you have to require a lot of back bend opening, you have gone to a class, a back bend workshop or back bend class. And but you don't know, the teacher does not know what else you do in your day-to-day life. Even you pick up, if you have a child, you pick up a child, your back will be gone because your back is very fragile. It's open, energy flow is open. There's a you have warmed up your back so much, your spine is so warm, and you're trying to do a physical activity afterward. Either you're going for a run, jumping, or you step or skip the step, all those point and lift something heavy will create a back problem, especially if you have done like in the quite long intense back bend workshop or the opening the back. Similarly apply to the hips. The hips relate to your lumbar spine as well. So there's a lot of technicality if you're practicing asana practice. If you want to practice yoga, be serious about it. Be a bit more authentic about it, be a bit more original about it. Don't just make it into a bad habit of your life. Becomes a more problematic for you. So dedicate yourself 1 hour. Even you do have a 45-minute dedicate to it, do it in one go. They don't do any other stretches throughout the practice. Don't do triangle, don't do warrior, don't do the three posture, don't try to do the lateral stretch, twist. And one bad habit we have, they sit down, like you constantly fidgeting, and you got some nerve twitching inside the body. Sit down comfortably, enjoy the life. The constantly twisting sitting on the chair will create a more back problem for you than actually relieving the back. You may feel a immediate release because you have twisted the body, but your spine is compressed. Not going to be very helpful for you. So if you have a bad habit, sitting in the chair, sitting in the anywhere, you constantly twisting to free your back because sit up. You don't need twisting that time. You need to stand up and go for a little walk. And maybe you come back, that might have already released the stress building up inside the spine, the problem. But twist doesn't really relieve it. Maybe lateral stretch may help it. Maybe bending forward may open up the spine, but not the twist. So if you have either small little those things makes big difference. And the mostly if you find out whoever practices yoga is more injured than a key person who doesn't practice yoga. They have their injuries, but their injuries are slightly different. Their injuries is because of not doing any physical exercise. But person who is supposed to be healthy, doing physical exercise and injured, I never actually understand it. So that is the bad practice in asanas. And asana is the most dangerous practice and most dangerous sport you can ever practice. Why? First of all, you are emotionally vulnerable, you're open, your prana is flowing through the body, physical body is opening, your nerves are opening, and you are doing the postures to release the energy blockage from there that may trigger any emotions out of the body. If you're not prepared for it, it's going to leave the scar. Unless you don't have a good balanced practice, it's going to leave the scar. So how do you practice a balanced practice? You need to find a authentic, original practice that actually can help you. And the way you're practicing, Sometimes asanas may never give you a problem, but only when you are competing with somebody during practice, that can become a problem. So whenever you practice, do not compete with anyone while you are practicing asanas. Also, important part, whenever you go into the posture, whenever you come out of the posture, these are 2 points you likely to get injured. Pay a bit more extra attention to it. I had a very dear student of mine during our teacher training, I think earlier this year in January. She was person was doing the teacher training in their country at the time, and there was a very famous yoga teacher who delivering the training, and the person is actually here. I'm not going to disclose the name because that brings the other teacher also into the unnecessary limelight. Person asked the go in a shoulder stand. Can you swing your neck side to side in shoulder stand? Actually, the who is going to do that? Your cervical spine is so compressed. You ask him, just swing your neck side to side while you have all the weight in your shoulder stand. And the person actually damaged the neck and have some issues develop. And there was always concern the around the neck area. So one person makes mistake doesn't mean everybody going to make mistake. Also, you have to trust the teacher as well. So if you know the first part, how the practice is, not to compete, you must know your limitations. Second part, pay extra attention when you go in and out of the posture. Have some common sense as well. Study about yoga. Study about yoga asanas. Study about bit of anatomy. Study about bit more physiology in operation during yoga practice, what is happening. Those few points will help you to have a good practice. Even you do not want to become a teacher, even you do not want to become a teacher, do study properly yoga. Especially when you are a student, you put extra understanding towards becoming the practicing yoga because not every teacher can teach properly. They might make some mistakes. And by yourself, you should implement the correction to the practice. So my advice again to the anybody who get injured in yoga, there's somewhere deep down you are contributing to it. Is there any mistakes in your practice? Anyway, have you compromised? Were you too eager or too aggressive with your own practice? I have seen people practicing almost like basically fighting their body. They had enough living in the body. They want to rip it into the pieces, come out of it. They want freedom so badly, they want to rip their own body into pieces. Like basically so much aggression, so much violence. Yoga is supposed to be a practice of serenity. Yoga is supposed to be a practice of love. Yoga is supposed to be a practice of compassion, at least toward yourself. Other people happens, not happen, doesn't matter. At least toward yourself, when you practice yoga, be grateful about it. Grateful about your breath. Grateful about every movement. Enjoy. So, but sometimes it becomes a bit difficult. When your practice is like almost you're having the battlefield between your mind and body and the breath in the yoga mat area, and try to observe your mental precision, how you are mentally. Even the teacher try to compete, create a competition because there will be a possibility that your teacher may try to create a competition, but might be for your good reason. Are you able to bite into it or not? Maybe teacher is doing it because the teacher wanted to feel very little about yourself in yoga class. because your ego will get built up. You want to go back again and again and again to fight with it, to prove. So depending what the teacher's motivation is also. Not every teacher may do that, but some teachers may do. Make you feel like you are not there yet. So you have to come back again. Try to push you to the limit where you literally break. I have seen those teachers. I have witnessed them, some of them very dearly trained with me to become a teacher. I know how much it takes. I know I fail someday. I also fail to deliver a great teachers. I know some people who's a very beautiful teacher, amazing, but little inside they stuck still on the flexibility. Yoga is not about flexibility. Remember that. I say again over and over. Yoga is nothing to do with flexibility. Flexibility of the body is a byproduct of yoga. If you don't believe it, we did a Vipassana last year also. And for 10 days, there was somebody who's yoga addict, like to do asana every day, 3 hours, 4 hours by themselves. Not do yoga for 10 days, your body should build some resistance, body should build some stress in the body, and also out of practice experience. But 10 days later, when they practice yoga, the practice, asana practice was a lot more greater than 10 days before. So it's all about mind power as well. The flow of the energy. Your blockage of energy inside the body is also need to be clear. How you actually connect with the physical body, that is also very important. Not fight with the body. Can you imagine 10 days of blissful meditation? You are so immersed in the body. Then you're doing the asanas, feel like you are completely transformed totally. Even the asana practice feel like totally transformed. So whenever you're practicing asana practice, make sure your mental relationship is slightly different. That you are not fighting with yourself. You are not having a negative intention towards your own practice, negative intention towards your own body, that you are not good enough, you are not enough in this posture. You do. Why always look at the leg? Gratitude is very important. Yoga asana should build a gratitude towards your physical existence. That what is lacking, your love is lacking towards to your physical body. Asana is supposed to bring that to you, but you start looking a negative aspect of it. You start looking that I am not good enough in this posture. So is that giving you a positive message to yourself? Probably not. Yet you talk about positivity because you practice yoga. If you don't positively think about it, you've been forced to think about it. Or you start lying about it because otherwise you sound like a hypocrite. So, a simple advice, if you're practicing asanas, do not compete, do not fight, pay a bit more extra attention, study a bit more. Don't stress whenever you can get a chance. Dedicate your time to it in the morning. I know you like to practice in the evening because your body is open. You can feel a bit more grateful achievement of the asanas, and you feel very good about yourself because I can touch my head to the knees. Who cares? You touch your head to the knees, but your effort that is accountable. That you try to touch your head to the knee. So try to practice in the morning if you can. The best time. Practice in the morning. If you cannot, okay, do it in the evening, sunset time. That's both times, sunrise and sunset are the prime time for asana practice or the pranayama practice. Some physical exercise you can do anytime. But if you're talking about yoga, I'm talking about yoga. You do it in the morning or in the evening. So, Luz, my friend, you need to give it maybe a rest, maybe get some warm water, the cold, don't do the cold, yeah? You just get maybe the hot water bottle, give it to the groins if you have inflammation, or give it a rest. If you're going for a run, take it easy. If you're swimming a lot and doing asanas in the sunshine, don't do it. You should never mix sunbathing and yoga. You know, sunbathing and yoga is absolutely kills the prana inside the body. You should never practice yoga in the sun. Early morning sun is good, evening sun is good, but broad daylight sun is dangerous for you. It kills the prana inside the body as well as it may feel really nice and warm. Go for sunbathing. If you have done sunbathing, enjoy the sunbathing. Why need to bring yoga in the middle to destroy sunbathing? You cannot, neither you enjoy sunbathing nor you enjoy the yoga. So at least do one thing. If you do sunbathing, do the sunbathing. Don't bring yoga in the middle. Enjoy the sunbathing. So also, if you have done sunbathing, do not practice yoga for at least good 2 hours of sunbathing because your body temperature is slightly different. You're likely to get migraine and nausea afterward if you do it. The chemical level in the body, your chemistry, body chemistry have changed. Biochemical body have changed from sunbathing because you have burst the energy of sun. Despite you may not think about it, but it's important to think about it. So if you go practicing yoga on the beach, middle of the day, don't do it. Do early morning. You saying somebody said. So I was talking about it. Somebody said you are a bit old school, yogi. I said yoga is also older than me, my friend. That's what you're trying to practice too. Do you understand? Yoga is older than me. And that's what I'm trying to practice. Yoga is even older than me, old school. So anyway, if you have anybody else have any question,
Thank you.
hello? No communication? Not to worry. Thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed our little conversation and we'll see you next week. If you don't have the question, you can always record the audio WhatsApp and send it as audio question if you have any. You can also ask your friends if you pick up any question while you're teaching and you found it quite interesting to understand it. You can also pass somebody else's questions that eats your brain. Bring it to me. We eat it together. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Namaste. Hari Om. I'm going to end the live now.